Right. Dang. And we're here. Are we here? Is everyone here? Hello.
Yeah.
I think we're here.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Tamalo. Hello, people. And hello, North.
Hello.
Hello, Joe.
Hi.
Hello, Trevor.
Hello.
And this is the new PS5 controller everyone's like super into. Look at that. Magnificent.
Oh, you broke the cameras and shit.
Oh, yeah.
The side.
I forgot to do those cameras. Fuck it. At
Also,
this
it
point,
still says fifth on the podcast in the middle of that last scene.
does it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, then it actually it goes on because of something else, and I don't know why it does that. The cameras are fucked. I don't care.
All right.
This is the Pantsless Podcast, and this is what we do here. my caro meter is like going down more and more. It's just I'll fix it for the next time.
My entire face is on there, so I don't care. I mean, this is good.
And like half of Trevor's face. We get a little bit of North over there. If I scoot here someplace, yeah, there you can see me now.
Oh.
Hello.
Smooth.
Anyway, this is the new PS5 controller, and people have been going fucking crazy over this shit. Yeah, this is it. This is the new design.
No, I know that this is it, but I didn't know that people were going crazy over it. I don't think it's that. I don't think it looks that good.
What do you mean by crazy? Crazy good or crazy bad?
I mean, I guess generally people are like it. I don't know. Can you be anything else than neutral? I've not seen a single person be like, this sucks. But it's like
I'm not gonna say that I say it sucks, but have you seen the side view, like the picture of it laying down?
Yeah, people talked about the triggers.
I thought the grips looked really chunky. I think they look really bulky. In the way that it kind of curves out, it reminds me of the first Xbox controller.
I said the same thing. To Sully. And Sully said that it also reminds him of the Xbox One controller. In honest to fucking God, this looks like if the Xbox controller had sex with the PS controller, and this is the result of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it just looks kind of chunky, and it'll be totally different whenever you get it in your hands. But hopefully it's fine. The haptic feedback that they say they're gonna start adding in there, like even into the triggers, could be fun.
Yeah.
They said that. Go ahead.
I hope that I hope they put other designs. I would not want to have a white controller. Please and thank you, give me a black one.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna have multiple.
Oh yeah. And a lot of people did their own like designs and shit. Yeah. I don't know if there's a website where you can like do your own designs. I know that Sony probably won't let people do that. But
people are gonna break those apart and like do hydro dips and stuff like that. Probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm just waiting for the Mad Catz version.
Oh, of course. Of course. And yeah, so once with feeling, welcome everybody. The show screen will be fucked for the entire episode. Discord has changed stuff, and I only had the brain to switch half of the camera scenes, which is literally this screen that you're watching right now. This is
says the fifth of them.
It says shit. Good at see.
Welcome.
We're learning. I don't know why this because I double checked that it won't show. So I'm pretty sure when I press the record button that switches the scene, and now the topic's all fucked up and things. When it switches the scene, I'm pretty sure it puts the fifth on the podcast. I've probably fucked up something somewhere. I mean, let's be real. I fucked up something somewhere.
Yeah, I would probably say that it's user error.
Yes,
somewhere in there.
Yes, it is like I can't blame the software. The software has never failed me yet. Every time something's wrong, it's my fault.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. Games and shit. So fuck it. Let's dive into stuff, I guess. Probably the biggest upset that happened over the past week, I'd say, is that The Last of Us 2 has been delayed indefinitely. Definitely indefinitely.
That's bad.
Now, I mean, I understand why they put it indefinitely because it's due to the coronavirus. They said that they can't ensure like that everyone gets the game at the same time. They don't want to do just digital sales, and if they can't ensure that everyone gets the physical ones, they're just gonna delay it, which they did. And the indefinite part is that obviously neither Sony nor Naughty Dog knows when this pandemic is over.
It makes sense if they sell like 50% of physical copies, it's basically losing 50% of all the profits. So it makes sense to wait out till you can actually ship all the physical copies, in my opinion.
Yeah, per Sony's own words, they've said that about 50% of their sales are digital and 50 is obviously the other side. I do think though that if you're forcing people to either choose, or if you put people in a situation where you buy it either digitally or you don't get the game at all, then not all of those 50% are going to be like, oh, I'm not going to get the game then. Because I mean, like a lot of people would probably still jump on a digital. Because I understand that if you have like a fucking bookshelf full of like physical copies, you like to keep buying those. And I understand people like Joe who are collectors. I understand that. I think and this is what I said to North. Like if you're the type of person that you buy 4 games a year and you've gone to Walmart for the past 20 years and you bought your games at Walmart, why would you change your habits if you're not forced to change your habits?
Yeah. Couldn't you just buy a physical copy off of like Amazon or Walmart.com or anywhere though?
Yeah, but if there are no physical copies to buy, then there are no.
But
that's the point.
Yeah, but they could still make physical copies. It's just they wouldn't be expecting people to go physically to the store and buy them. They could still ship them out.
That's not the problem. The problem is literally that they can't make them.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense too. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Joe, if you're even allowed to talk about this, but I know that in your line of work, you did express that you also have a little bit of trouble to acquire the parts that you need for your job because of the China situation, and I completely assume that that's what everyone is going through. Like production goes down and production halts, and then just shit gets delayed or not made in the same quantity as they should be made.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely something that's going on a lot around here, or not around here, around the world, I guess.
And what my thoughts pretty quickly went from now that Last of Us 2 has been delayed, quote unquote, indefinitely. I still think that Sony intends to release this as soon as possible, obviously, and definitely this year. But my thoughts went quickly to where how likely are we going, or how likely is the situation that we're gonna read about that the PS5 and the next Xbox is also delayed because of production issues?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
Yeah, I would say if it's not going to happen for production issues, it's going to happen just because they don't want to lose out on sales, because that's not something, obviously, it's not something you can buy digitally. And not everyone does like to buy online. Like you said, a lot of people, if they've been going to Walmart for 20 years to get all their games, why would they stop now? So I'd say that they almost definitely will get delayed for that.
Or
Just for
maybe they're gonna do like a soft launch and have like a limited amount of consoles and ship them out for like double the price because there's only so many consoles.
Artificially jacking up the price.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, technically not artificially because they just they're not there.
Yeah, they're
Why would
actually
be there?
jacking up the price.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo has been doing that with the amiibos, and I think they did the same with some like in the beginning of the Switch's launch or something like that, where the demand was too high. No, not the fucking Switch, the mini NES, where they produced.
Oh yeah, the classic.
Yeah, the classic.
Oh
yeah. Where they couldn't respond to the demand, and then those classics were sold on eBay for obscene amounts of money.
Too much money.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know at one point I did the math on the NES Classic, and what I was seeing some on eBay going for, you could buy like a regular NES and the majority of the games that came with it for what people were selling it on eBay for.
Oh, really?
I mean, it kind of just shows what people are like ready to pay for certain things, and I mean, nobody's talking about the classic anymore, and people talked even less about the SNES Classic. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like sure there were good games on those systems, but how much is your nostalgia worth, really? If you bought a classic, how much do you actually play that thing anymore?
Yeah.
I bought it solely because the SNES Classic comes with Star Fox 2, and it hadn't been released in any other way before that. That's the Star Fox 2 is the entire reason I bought a SNES Classic.
And see, that's something I understand if you're a collector type of guy. I would never do that because I mean I have no interest in Star Fox 2, but
yeah.
And obviously, if you're not paying like $1,000 for it for like essentially one game, then fucking why not?
Yeah, I got mine at retail, so I ain't complaining.
How long was the controller cord on your mini? Because I heard that they were like 2.5 feet long or something crazy.
They're super short. Yeah, they're like probably not that short, but they're maybe like 3 or 4 foot long. They're pretty short. Yeah, they definitely want you to buy the like 6 foot or whatever extension cable that they also sell right next to it.
What? That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's like insultingly short. It is so short. It's crazy. It's shorter than the original NES controller cables, and those were meant for you to sit in the floor in front of the TV, and it's still shorter than that. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's a little bit stupid.
Yeah, but they have those nice extension cables right there for only $20 or however much.
20 buckaroos. That's not much.
Yeah.
$20 for an extension cable is a little bit too much.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, Last of Us 2 has been delayed. I completely assume that other major games will be delayed too. With the announcement that Last of Us 2 is delayed, also like some Iron Man VR game is also delayed, but all of, I don't know, 0.0 people probably cared. And
yeah, I like VR, but I'm not interested in that game at all. I'm just like, oh, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I guess it would be kind of cool to fly around the globe with your Iron Man suit on. I don't know what it's like, but
I can fly around the globe with Google Earth VR.
It's not the same. You're not Iron Man.
You can,
no, but
Google Earth VR is pretty sick though.
Yeah.
If you guys would like a feel-good story right quick in the middle of all this, I actually whenever I first got my VR and stuff, I actually took like my whole rig and actually took it over to my aunt's who's wheelchair bound. She's been in a wheelchair for probably the last 7 or 8 years. And I actually got her in the Google Earth, and she's always wanted to go to Italy. So I took her to like Sicily and we just like went around the back streets and stuff, and she just like flew around the world. It was awesome. So yeah, Google Earth VR is pretty sick.
Yeah, I believe Trevor did the same thing with some of his relatives.
Yeah, I did the same thing with the girlfriend's aunt, actually.
That's awesome.
And her brother. But yeah.
Yeah, I do think that VR for those types of things is pretty untapped still at this point. I think I can completely see like somebody setting up like these sort of virtual destinations, and you just go to some place and they hook up you in a VR headset and you're there on the moon and shit.
They kind of have something like that. It's called VR chat. And it's the greatest invention ever.
Okay. Settle down there. Settle down.
VR chat is it's way more fun than it deserves to be, for sure. Like, for you just to go and talk to people dressed as some goofy character, it doesn't sound like it would be that fun, but man, it's pretty fun.
People actually speculated that the updated sexual and nudity TOS things on Twitch got renewed because of VR chat. I read the updated version of like what's allowed and not allowed, and I did not find the differences from the previous ones. But then again, I never toe the line on sexually explicit content, so it doesn't really apply to me. But people were speculating that it's mainly done for because of VR chat.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna say I've never seen anything too raunchy on VR chat, but like considering what it is and the who can get on, like anyone can on the platform, like it's very tame, honestly. Like I'm sure there's like rooms where there's it's specifically geared towards giant penises floating around and stuff like that, but honestly, like out of the hours I put into it, like less than 1% have I been like, oh, this would be really bad if I was streaming.
Now that you mention that, Trevor, that is kind of wild. It was actually super PG whenever I was rolling around. Like, no one was mean or like super explicit or anything like that. Everyone was just in there being goof. It was fun. That hadn't dawned on me, like how okay most of the people on there actually were.
Yeah.
That's odd.
It is very odd because you just go on there as an avatar and you're 100% anonymous. But most of the people I played with on there, they were just rolling around being stupid.
I think honestly, I think a lot of people get mad if you have something that's too X-rated. Because I had an avatar where I was a bald man with a mustache in a maid's outfit, and he had like a little G-string on, and I put that on, which it's a little raunchy, but it's not like it. I think it would be allowed on Twitch. We'll say that because everything's covered. But like when I went into a chat room and I wore that, and like people got mad at me in there. Like they were literally like, "I'm banning you from," or not banning you, but they can make it to where they can't see your avatar and stuff. And like people like gathered around like, "We're banning you," and this, and this. And I was like, "It's not even that bad."
What the fuck, internet? Come on.
Yeah.
When I grew up, it was all dicks and more dicks.
All the way down.
Yeah.
Just dicks all the way down.
Yep.
People have morals and shit now. What the fuck?
Funny.
Weird shit. But okay. So yeah, Last of Us 2 delayed, and VR chat is PG. There you have it, folks.
Both of those very surprising things.
Yes, both of those very surprising, and both of them can be very sad too, if you really want them to be.
For sure.
For sure. But in some actual game stuff, continuing from not last week but 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Joe, do you happen to have the thing close by?
We're gonna
The
talk
helmet?
Oh
about-
yeah, it's back there. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Hang on, I gotta get
show
it
it
back
for the
out.
stream.
Of course.
Yeah, I saw the box right there. I was like, oh, you gotta show that again. It's so cool.
But yeah, Joe has been playing Doom Eternal, so we're gonna talk again a little bit about Doom Eternal once Joe gets the.
You guys like that little bit of back?
Oh,
Yeah.
This wasn't in the crack.
that was the sexually explicit content.
Okay, so I can't wear it with my headphones on, but there it is.
That's
Also, Tom, was the thing you were talking about that people didn't like that you could see Doom Guy's face through this in the game?
No.
Okay.
I
was the only thing that,
assume like you have not completed the game, right?
I have not. No.
Okay. I assume you have not seen this thing then.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna put this thing on. It's hot, so I'm not gonna wear it for very long because there's no
Wear it through the
ventilation.
whole
This is one
podcast.
solid hunk of plastic. And you can still see my beard, which is pretty sick.
I can actually hear you surprisingly clear.
See, look,
Yeah, we
I'm
can
gonna go
hear Joe, but
fucking
Joe can't
ripping
hear us,
tail
of
off my-
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has like those LED lights on.
Mm.
It's crazy. But like you wore that thing for 2 seconds and I can see like you getting sweaty already. Like
Yeah, it's like I said, it is a solid hunk of plastic. Like this is an actual helmet in there. It's got everything like you would normally see inside a helmet. Yeah, it's hot. It's very, very dense.
Yeah, I saw when you unboxed the thing that I saw that stream and you wore that for like a few minutes and it was like, dude, you were
Yeah,
like
it's
fucking
rich.
water falling on your face.
Yeah. It's super sick. It's super cool. There's a lot of little details on it, but it is hot.
So, how do you like Doom Eternal though?
I love it. I think it's awesome. I think that it is exactly what a Doom game probably should be. And I'm playing
So
it
far.
on,
so far.
so
I mean,
far.
it's good through the end.
Yeah, I'm super enjoying it. I wish I played it more. But I want to play it all on stream. And last week I just wasn't feeling up to it. But yeah, I'm liking everything I play about it. And I even I played some of the multiplayer with Pedally, and even that was a blast. I actually really liked that.
How was the multiplayer? I
Hmm.
never seen any content of it.
I completely skipped it.
It's actually pretty fun. The only downside to it, and I guess that depends on what you consider a downside, is that it's only 3 people at a time. So there's just 1 Doomslayer and 2 demons. And
Oh.
if you play with a friend, it forces you to be the 2 demons. So like whenever Pedally and I were in a group playing, we could only be the demons, which is fine. I was fine with being the demons, but it still kind of sucks.
Yeah,
Is-
I mean, I
is
can
there
understand
any-
that in a way.
But is there any way to play with like 3 friends? Can you form a party of 3 people?
You can make, I guess if you made a private game, because you can make private games. We just played with randoms. So maybe if you made a private game, you could probably have like just 2 other friends.
Hmm.
And I'd say you'd probably be able to pick whoever you wanted then.
What do you do in the multiplayer?
So it's best out of 3. Make sure to share we had to deal with. Oh yeah, I will. That was making a party, adding people to your friends list in Doom is the most asinine process. It's absolutely stupid. It is the dumbest thing I have ever had to do for a friends list. Before I get into that, I'll talk about the multiplayer. But it's just a team deathmatch, best of 3, or a deathmatch, I guess, best of 3. There's constantly imps and zombies spawning, and I think the Marines as well are constantly spawning, going after the Doomslayer, and then you get to pick from the Pain Elemental, the Warden, I can't remember, the Mancubus, and one more. And then you get like actually loadouts that you get different abilities on, and everyone can actually summon like larger demons. Like you can actually pick to summon the Arachnotrons or whatever. And then as soon as you summon those, they just start going straight for the Doomslayer. So you're kind of like jumping around the map, and the Doomslayer has all the abilities that he does in the game. So if he can definitely chainsaw you, he can chainsaw other people, he heals with glory kills. It's actually, even though you wouldn't think it would be tough on 2-on-1, it's actually really tough to kill the Doomslayer.
In the in just the normal Doom, wasn't the multiplayer more like Modern Warfare style, where it's just like 8 players on a map and they all just fight each other?
Yeah, I think in 2016 it was just like a death match of Doom guys.
So they just got rid of that completely, and this is like a completely new
Yeah.
multiplayer type of
Was
thing.
there
Yeah.
was there deathmatch in 2016?
Yeah, I
was
think
there-
that's the only thing it
Yeah,
had.
I
for
think that's all there
multiplayer.
was. It was just deathmatch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
It was
didn't
like
even
you
know.
against. Yeah,
I wasn't even aware of a multiplayer component.
Yeah, I think it was just an 8-person death match in the first one. But and like I said, there are different loadouts for different abilities and things like that, and there are even skins that you unlock for all the demons. So there is some customizability to that. The only complaint I had is I think we only played on like 2 different maps, maybe 3. So it's super duper limited. But they've already said that like up to a certain point, there's going to be just free additional content, including maps and stuff like that. So it's not so bad. Now, what is so bad is what we had to fucking do to play with Pedally. So you have a friends list on Doom. There is no way to search for someone on Doom. There's no way to search for a match because there's no kind of server browser. So if you want to add someone to your friends list only using the game Doom, which I'll explain why I would make that distinction in a minute, you have to hope that you luck out and get in their party, and then you go to or in their game, and then you go to your recent players list and add them from recent players. That is the only way. If you want to add a friend to your friends list only using Doom, that's how you do it. Swear to God. So
it's easy enough.
Yeah, you just have to roll the die a few million times, and eventually you'll be with your friend.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
So-
all press play now.
Yeah, synchronize your watches, guys.
Yeah.
But did you guys try that method at all?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
No way. So what you have to do, the Bethesda launcher has a friends list, and that's the friends list that Doom uses. There's also no way in the launcher to search for friends or add friends or search for profiles. So what you have to do is launch a game that has a friends list that you can search for people, which isn't every game because we already saw Doom didn't have it. So what the internet suggested, because it's the smallest game, we both downloaded Elder Scrolls Legends, which is that TCG game, that card game. We both downloaded Elder Scrolls Legends, added each other to our friends list, and then uninstalled Legends, and then we were in Doom. So after we installed a different game, added each other to our friends list, then we could play Doom together.
What the fuck?
Have they addressed this at all? Like,
Not that I've seen. There's if you Google Doom multiplayer friends, there's just a post that comes up from Bethesda, and it just says, "Yeah, you can play with your friends. You just have to add them from your recently played list." How do you get them there, though? They don't say how you get them into the recently played.
I mean, it feels incredible that a basic multiplayer function that has existed for at least 10 years is impossible to make.
Yep.
I mean,
I
thought Hunt Showdown was bad.
No, Pedley and I sat fiddling with it for like an hour, just trying, not even doing it, just trying to figure out how to do it. We were both Googling it.
So Pedley is saying something about the Steam ID. Can you not use Steam to connect to friends? Can you not join your friend's game through Steam?
I don't know. I don't have it on Steam. I don't think so though. No, because Pedley does have it on Steam, and it still doesn't show anyone on hers either. You still have to have them like added to your Bethesda friends list to play it with someone.
That's so fucking retarded.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Sure
you're,
is.
I can understand that they forced to use their own service, but if their own service doesn't work,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a basic function.
And what she's saying, the messed up part, that it clearly shows both your Bethesda and Steam ID in your multiplayer UI, that you actually link your Steam account to your Bethesda account. So there's no reason that Bethesda shouldn't have access to your Steam friends, but it doesn't.
Yeah, that's true, because I had to make a Bethesda account because I bought it through Steam too.
Yeah,
that's so
everything
fucking
about
retarded.
Player, once you get it set up, it's fine. We didn't have any issues after that. But after you download another game and then search for them on that game and then uninstall that game and then you can play them.
Yeah, that sounds like
a minor inconvenience.
Yeah, yeah.
Luckily, their smallest game is only like a gig, so for normal people that'll only take a few hours.
Thank God they have this small game over here that you can download.
Yeah, that's the you can just go download the Doom Friends List launcher, except it's renamed Elder Scrolls Legend.
Yeah.
You would think that they would actually fix that thing in that 4-month period that they pushed the initial release date.
Yeah. I have no faith that Bethesda can do anything anymore. Ever since Fallout 76, it's gone fucking down.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, it just blows my mind. Yeah, exactly. It blows my mind that how could they do that? Like, they have this game, they present it, and they here we go. Here's our multiplayer aspect, and they're like, okay, cool. Well, how do you add friends? Well, you got to go install another game. But how does that? How?
I don't know, man.
You would think that it would be that simple, just like adding anyone on Discord. It's just your current name on the game and then some bunch of numbers, so you can't have duplicates.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because you have you have an account name or you have an account ID or whatever. This shit is basic stupid stuff that has been around forever already. And what Pedley is saying, multiplayer must have been afterthought. I'm not even talking about the multiplayer. I'm talking about the Bethesda launcher. Basic launcher functionality. This shit should be there day one.
Yeah. There's literally no excuse. There is no, because we had to kind of do some finagling even whenever I was playing 76, because you can only add friends lists on 70 or friends to your friends list on 76 in the game, because the launcher doesn't have a friends list. So the launch or the friends list is shared across all your games from what I can tell, but it has no interaction with the actual launcher.
See that? For the love of God, Bethesda. You...
Yeah. And the Pedley says that, that it was an afterthought, but I don't think it was. I think they just screwed the pooch, because the afterthought thing, every demon has skins. They have altars that you can customize that they stand on during the load screen. There's a lot of customizability in the game specifically for multiplayer. I could understand if only the Doomslayer had skins, because he has skins that you can also activate in single player, but the demons also have skins. And those, you can't just decide to have a demon skin unless you're going to use it. So the multiplayer was definitely thought out. Just nothing outside of the actual gameplay was actually thought out.
See, what pisses me off most about this entire thing is that they are pushing this launcher on you when it's broken by default. When there exists the Steam launcher, which has these functionalities, and you're selling your game on Steam. So, you are creating a problem where there shouldn't be a problem. The problem doesn't exist, but you create a problem for that situation. I don't understand the thought behind this, other than we need to push our own launcher and fuck it if it's not ready.
76 has been out for a year and a half now, and I feel like that was the big release for their launcher, and it's still garbage. So like in a year and a half, they still haven't added a friends list or anything to their launcher. It looks exactly the same. It looks identical as it did day one. The launcher does.
See, I kind of, and I legitimately believe that they kind of abandoned their launcher already. Because when 76 came out, I was fully expecting that no Bethesda games will be on Steam anymore. That they're really trying to push the launcher. 76 failed spectacularly, and people hated the game and the launcher. So now they're scaling back, like, oh fuck it, Doom's on Steam, and yeah, sure, we put Starfield on Steam whenever they announce it again. But they still keep the launcher. You have to make a Bethesda account, so it still exists. Maybe for the future in 5 years when it's fucking functional.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking here. It does say if you already own Fallout 76, you can get it on Steam for free.
So they
Okay.
it'll. I wonder
Why?
if it just launches the Bethesda launcher, then you just launch it through that anyway.
Yeah, I don't
Why
know.
why would you want the game twice? What's the point?
In case, I guess, for people
Steam
to
has a
complain about
functioning
not
friends
having it
list.
on all on one, launcher.
If I get it on Steam, I'll at least know when my buddies are playing it. So
Yeah.
Well, how many of your buddies are playing Fallout 76?
Yeah.
None of them. I don't know. It's not on Steam. I can't tell you. I can't answer that.
Fuck me. I mean,
Maybe all of them. I have no way of knowing.
Bethesda used
You
to
can
be one of
play
my
it.
favorite companies that makes video games, like legitimately. And like ever since Fallout 4 was kind of like a misstep in a lot of ways. But I still said to myself, it's like whatever. And then 76
Fallout
came.
4.
Yeah, I mean, and sure, Fallout 4 is not a bad game in any way, but it had missteps because I was so much in love with New Vegas, which is not even made by fucking Bethesda.
Fuck New Vegas.
Yeah, fuck yeah, whatever. We're talking about like over decade-old games at this point. But I completely understand when people say that they have no trust in Bethesda anymore, that they've lost their way, that they like. They make these asinine decisions, or the decisions that make no sense. It's a friends list, basic functionality for a launcher. What thought process is behind when you're like, we are putting out a product which is not ready, and people surely will hate this, and they're still like, yes, let's put it out. Why? Why do you sabotage yourself?
I think the key word that you put in there that doesn't belong is thought.
Oh,
This is just a process. There's no thought involved. Let's not get that. Let's not
Okay.
get it twisted.
okay. I apologize.
I feel like they made the launcher because there's a possibility they become something big and similar to like Steam or what Epic is nowadays, but it never took off, and now they just have to like deal with it. Like, I guess we're still gonna put everything here just in case it someday maybe takes off.
Yeah, we're too far gone.
Yeah, like
We've already put so much money into this, we can't
Yeah.
back out anymore.
they might have like constructed the friend list in such a way that you have to have it there. Like every single game is somehow based on that launcher. I don't know. Who knows? They don't even know how it works.
So I have a question for Brad and Tom. I haven't played Eternal. I played a little bit of just Doom. But when I look at video footage of people playing and stuff, it looks basically identical to me. What's the key differences between the two? What about the actual gameplay and stuff did they do the, say, hey, look, we made all this advancement from the last one?
Well, it's a way faster game. Sure, it's at its core it's still Doom. I'd say it's an improvement of 2016. The gameplay is more refined. The areas are more varied. Gameplay is faster. guns work a little bit differently. In my mind, they work better by forcing you to use all the guns. I think having the chainsaw replenish automatically is also a refinement, so you can use the chainsaw more. I think the gore is on point. I know North made the point that if you see the same glory kill for the 1,000th time, the return diminishes in like the value of it. I think the glory kills were awesome until I saw the credits. So I mean, it's more Doom 2016. It's just a little bit better than 2016.
You don't have to catch those weapon upgrade drones every single time and beat the living shit out of them.
So it's like Madden, but a first-person shooter.
What?
What?
Well, like
Dude,
Madden,
glory kills on Madden?
No, Madden
Come on, I get what you're
2019.
saying.
It's
Like it's not just like it's the same game, but with like slightly updated.
yeah.
No,
yeah.
I wouldn't say that though.
Go ahead.
It's clear that they made refinements to the already good formula. I mean, bunch of games do this.
Yeah.
If you like Doom 2016, I'd say that it's almost guaranteed that you like Doom Eternal. Even though people were criticizing it on my Discord for stupid things.
Yeah, I think it's Doom 2016, but more. Like that's the best way I can really think about it. So there, I mean, there's more gore, there's more guns, there's more story. It just feels like a more fleshed out game as opposed, and there's nothing wrong with 2016, but just as opposed to just like plowing forward and that's it. Like you're just advancing. There's just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more involved than the first one. I'd say is the really the best way to put it, because in the first one there was a lot of collectibles and stuff, but they didn't really mean anything. And in this one, as you get collectibles, you can actually go back. You have like a base that you go to between some missions, and you can actually go there and look at your collectibles. And it has a lot of Easter eggs in there, and you can kind of go around your fortress of Doom, and I don't know. That's probably the best way I can describe it, though. Is just it's 2016 but more.
And with Doom Eternal, you're not buying one game, you're buying 3 games. Because you can play Doom 1 and 2 within Doom Eternal. The originals. Yeah, the originals. Yeah.
There are there's in your room, in your bedroom, there's a little old beige monitor that you can go up to, and he like sits down and it zooms in, and there's like a command prompt and everything that you can actually play the original Dooms on in the game. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Probably one of my favorite features in the game is that you can get like these soundtrack CDs, and you can like listen to it on like a player. And I remember Tom was playing, and he found I think it was the original Doom soundtrack, some of those songs, and it would just like go on, and he would like run around, listen to the song, run around, and explore the base, and it was so cool.
I made the mistake on putting it on and then exploring the base because it loops fucking forever. Like essentially, it's 2016 but just more.
Yeah, you get everything you like about 2016 and then more. I don't think really they took any steps back. I don't think they made anything worse. I think just everything just got improved.
Kind of like every blade of grass is textured, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. How far are you in Eternal, do you know?
I can't remember the Doom Slayer where you fight the 2 of those. That's where I'm at. So I'm like 5 or 6 missions in, maybe.
Okay.
I just killed the second priest. I only have 1 left.
Spoilers here.
Yeah.
You find out you're killing priests like in the opening cutscene, so it's not too spoilery.
Yeah, it's actually quite like before you press a single button, you kill the first priest.
Yeah, you don't actually do it. You just kill the Doomslayer kills it, and then he's like, "All right, 2 more to go," and then the game starts.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what plot? Okay, whatever. Let's just go.
Would you say, story-wise, compared to the last one, did they decide to like go more into story, or was it just same as last? Like, stories,
Oh, they
whatever.
went way into the story for this one for sure. I mean, the first one's story was almost non-existent, but this one has quite a bit of plot, which is pretty cool. So they're actually like fleshing out the Doom guy's background and things like that. So finding out like why he slays demons and why those demons are coming here, and there's probably more lore in this game than every other Doom put together.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, I believe that. I didn't care about any of that. I was just killing monsters. But there is the one thing that Joe hasn't still seen, and now it still won't say what it is, that probably like pisses off most players.
I look forward to it.
All right, shall we move on?
Sure.
So anyone can do this. You can open up a new tab and go to twitch.tv. Just I almost said .com. And you can go to the browse section and see what game is number 1 right now. And then you can ask yourself, what the fuck is this game?
I did.
Did you? Yeah, like Trevor actually did.
Oh yeah, like all the biggest ones are playing it.
Yep.
All the biggest ones, and then some. Valorant has just entered closed beta. And just for reference, because I'm also curious, like what's the damage right now? 1.2 million viewers.
Oh.
And Summit, the number 1 streamer right now, has 260,000 viewers. That is a lot. That's big numbers. Now, what is Valorant? First of all, it is Riot Games is a new game, which is essentially a Counter-Strike clone, and then they sprinkle some Overwatch flavor there. So the core gameplay is it's 5-on-5. You pick a character, then you pick your loadout like in Counter-Strike, and then the round starts. There are attackers and defenders. There's 2 bomb sites, A and B, like in Counter-Strike. Defenders defend the bomb sites. The attackers go to either bomb site and plant a bomb, and then the defenders have a chance to defuse that bomb, just like Counter-Strike. And the characters have like special skills. That's where the kind of the Overwatch element comes to. They're not. I don't think they're unique characters. I think every character can use whatever skill. But I'm not super sure. There are different characters though, and I believe there's some difference in those characters. Personally, and this is just my own opinion, I think the game looks kind of crap. I think visually it looks like it's from 10 years ago, and I think the gameplay is really boring. And that is coming from someone who actually watches and enjoys professional Counter-Strike. But I think it's in obviously it is in its infancy, and I mean, CS being as refined as it is, they can't reach that level yet. But looks kind of crap.
I'm trying to decide whether or not it looks kind of poopy on purpose. Because
I'll tell you, it does. It does look poopy because this way the most shittiest laptop can run the game.
You're right.
Also, I want to point out that some of the maps at least have 3 places to plant the bomb. Not
okay,
2.
well, shit, innovation, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
Dang.
And So one like big question probably people had, like, aside from what fucking game is this, is why are the numbers so fucking high? Because over 1 million on one game, and we have seen that before, I believe, on Fortnite. I think they broke 1 million concurrent. CSGO might have done that once, but Valorant peaked at 1.7 million yesterday, which is a new record for Twitch. That's a lot of fucking people.
That's crazy.
It is. But there's a reason why that is that high. So if you link your Twitch account to your Riot account, or I guess link your Riot account to Twitch, you're eligible for drops for the game, and you can get a beta key for this game, and that is why people are making multiple accounts to farm the keys on multiple streams and inflate the numbers. And then when you get a key, you sell it on eBay for if you're using euros, everything from 90 euros, 120 euros. There's one for 43 euros, 110. 100. Yeah, about like between. Oh shit, there's one like 400. Oh fuck that, man. One 366 joint point
That
66.
one comes with, it comes with features.
yeah. Valorant key account North America early access. Yeah, probably best offer. Yeah, let me pay like 360 euros for a beta key for a game that will probably fail. Yeah, keys go for a lot. It's a lot.
So what is it going to be free whenever it finally releases, or do we know yet?
I've not seen anything, but assuming it's because it's Riot, I'm assuming yes. I don't think they're gonna break the monetization model they have employed with League already. Or if they slap a price, they slap something like $10 or $20.
Do they have a release date on the game?
I'm not sure.
I'm looking, I don't see one, but I didn't know if you guys found one or not.
You gotta remember that Riot Games is part of Tencent, or however you pronounce the
Tencent.
Big ass the big ass company that owns a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Tencent owning Riot has not been an issue thus far. Riot has had full creative control over their shit so far. But release, I guess this is a planned release, Q1 or between Q2 and Q3 this year. But I mean, it being this sort of competitive shooter, when is it really done? I mean, you can slap early access on it for like the next 10 years. It'll be okay.
I get very Fortnite feel from this game. And I don't know if
it's not even a VR, man.
I don't even get Fortnite at all. I get CSGO.
I get it from the character models. That's what I was thinking too,
Yeah.
North. Because everything just seems like overly smooth.
What's the engine they're using here? Let's see.
I think everything looks like smooth and almost bubbly. It just reminds me of Fortnite.
I think it's pretty smart though. Like, there's like a lot of like Fortnite clones and things like that. But like CS:GO, like, you know, it's so old and it kind of has like a very, like you said, like it's not detailed at all. It's very basic, and I don't think there's any other games that really like have just completely cloned CS:GO. And CS:GO is a huge game for like, you know, tournaments and stuff. I think it's very smart of them just to be like, hey, no one's really copying this 20-year-old game. Let's do it. And then, you know, look what happens.
Yeah, the Valorant is using the same engine as Fortnite, so Unreal Engine 4.
Oh, so they're licensing it from Epic.
Yeah, well, Tencent owns like 40% of Epic, so they own pretty much everything.
They still have to license it from Epic. Yeah. They are paying for it.
Yeah, but it's basically like moving money within the company. in a way.
Yeah, I know. I get what you mean, but in business they don't think it like that.
Yeah.
They are handled as two separate entities, and if one entity fails, it fails. Other companies don't help out other companies, even if they're under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's different because they're not really like subsidiaries of Tencent. They're just partially owned by Tencent.
Yeah.
So if they were actually like Tencent companies, I would definitely agree with you, North. But since they're not even like majority owned by Tencent, they'll probably have to fend for themselves, and they might get like some kind of deal, but I'm sure they're still.
Oh yeah, definitely some kind of deal. But I mean, I mainly brought up the Valorant thing because of the numbers and because they broke Twitch records, and it is a new thing, and it is on the like front page, and all the big guys are playing it. I'm assuming Riot is throwing out some huge sums to these streamers to keep playing it, because honestly, like I have been watching for hours of Valorant gameplay, and honest to God, it looks bad. I do not see the appeal of it.
Yeah, I also listened to some of the streamers talk about like people who play CS:GO a lot, talk about this game, and it apparently it's not as good. Like
See,
it doesn't you don't get any feedback when you get a kill. It doesn't feel as impactful as in CS:GO.
That's because CS:GO is refined and Valorant has been out for a day. One has 20 years of development behind, and one has maybe 6 months. But yeah, that's Valorant.
I'm watching someone right now, and it doesn't seem terribly exciting.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I mean, I'm a person who, like, I legitimately watch professional Counter-Strike, and I do enjoy it. I think it's like very enjoyable. And I can understand, like, Valorant. I can't judge Valorant at the same level because it has been out for a day, and people have been playing CS:GO and CS for very many years. The maps are old, the strats are old. It's just refined so long to the point where you can't get there without years of doing things. And I mean, that's the advantage CS has over a game like Valorant for a multitude of years, I'd guess. Will Valorant be the next big thing, though? I highly doubt it. I think the numbers will go down just like they did with Tarkov, after the drops stop, and after the contracts with the streamers stop. I think most of the professional streamers that are professional enough to keep up a good face and represent the game in a quality way, and once they're not contractually obligated to play that game anymore, then they'll just move on to whatever they want to play.
Yeah, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't look as. I mean, I'm not a fan of Fortnite, but that didn't look as exciting as Fortnite does.
I think Fortnite is more colorful.
Yeah,
I think Fortnite would be a good game if I could fucking play it.
That's that old man syndrome over there.
Yep.
I mean, I'm right there with you, dude.
Yeah.
I can't play it for shit.
Yeah, me neither. I've only tried a couple times, but not interested.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I got Siege, and when I get mad with Siege, I move on to something else. But yeah, GG for Riot for actually like breaking records on Twitch, even if it's bots and duplicate accounts and people just farming for a code so that they can sell it on eBay.
I can definitely see the appeal for like CS:GO players to try out something very similar and see if it sticks or not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the appeal is probably there, but assuming CS:GO players think as other athletes think, the appeal diminishes very quickly when they realize that CS:GO is just infinitely a better game.
Yeah, and I feel like it's gonna come back to something like we've talked about before, like in World of Warcraft. If you've spent 10 years playing that game, why would you change into another MMO? Because you already invested so much time on it.
Mm. And especially if you yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's a super solid point too, because like you guys have been saying, CS:GO has been out for a while, and the people who are still playing it are dedicated to playing it. So I mean, you're trying to peel away a pretty dedicated group of people for sure.
Yeah, that's actually what I was about to say too. That the players that play a lot of CS:GO and feel like they're doing good, they won't switch. Like I don't know for who Valorant is just for who is it made, essentially.
I think it's for new CS:GO players that have
Get
played
totally
the game
stomped on.
Yeah, because you're going against people who have played CS for a decade. Like,
See,
if you started
okay.
playing right now, you would not do well.
So CS:GO is still one of the most sold games. There's still people who buy CS:GO and they play it for the first time ever. You would not believe the amount of shit players there is in CS:GO. I know, I've played. It's horrendous. It feels like it's people who have never played an FPS game before, and that might be true for some of them. But it's once you get out of the silver tier on CS:GO's competitive ranking or the ladder, then you're getting to the players who have played more than like a year.
That almost makes me wonder how many people are they going to have the opposite effect on? Like, how many people are going to pick this up and just get talked into playing CS:GO? Like, because you know that some people are going to pick this up having never played CS:GO. So I wonder if this will actually benefit Counter-Strike in any way. I'm sure it will be pretty nominal if it does, but it could be interesting.
Yeah, and I feel like even if you have like a mid-sized like friends list on Steam, how many of those people on your friends list own Counter-Strike?
All of them.
Yeah, I mean
all of them.
I mean pretty much, honestly, like because I mean
even I own it and I don't even like the game.
Yeah, exactly. Even Trevor owns it. And it feels like, especially with Counter-Strike or Global Offensive, it's I don't know, but I have a feeling that from all the days that a calendar has, it's probably on sale more days than it's not on sale.
Speaking of that, I bought the game. Next fucking day was free. I'm being serious.
That's awesome. I love that for you. Did you return it? Did you try to return it?
No, because I bought it on. What is it on normally? Epic.
Steam.
What? Steam. Is it on Steam normally?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a Valve game.
Oh, I think. Fuck, I don't know what happened then. Maybe, I don't think I did. I don't think at that time I knew that you could return after 2 hours.
I got you.
Yeah.
There is still though a all of CS:GO is not free. Like you can buy for a paid version to get like full access to the game. But yeah, that's Valorant. I foresee its demise within 2 months.
Yeah, it's gonna be something similar like Apex. It was good for a month or two, and then I feel like it's gonna have a huge cheater wave, and it's gonna scare all the players out. That's my prediction.
I still like
that's a
Apex.
pretty safe bet.
Although last time I played Apex, the guy I was playing with said that I sucked and should kill myself.
Oh no!
Damn.
He actually said he actually was kind of PC with it. He said I should delete myself.
Oh.
I do remember that. So
that was thoughtful of him.
Mm-hmm.
he was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. He was pretty good. He killed like 5 teams by himself.
Oh, okay. So he was flexing. That was.
Oh yeah, he was a good player.
Those are the fucking worst. You can't even talk back to them.
I know. I was like, well, what am I gonna say? He's pretty good.
Maybe I should delete myself.
Got a point. I do suck.
Yeah. But okay. That's Valorant. If anything notable happens with the game, I may or may not mention it. Who knows? Honestly, I don't care about Valorant. I just wanted to mention it because of the numbers.
Yeah, I think North hit the nail on the head. I think it'll almost identical mirror what Apex did for sure.
And like, to be fair, Valorant is not even out yet. I think what Apex did like very good is that they released the fucker out of nowhere. This is just a closed beta. And like a handful of people have access to the game. So who knows if there's even...
That's good though. That's like Facebook.
But like my point is like
serious.
So like because the point I'm trying to make is when it's actually out, when anybody can play it, do people care about it anymore? Or do you think that the interest for the game will keep at a certain level or go up even?
I think as long as the game's not shit, which I mean, let's look like it might be, but let's just say for argument's sake that it's not just complete shit. I think it will be like Facebook. Like Facebook was only for a certain set of people, college kids, basically. You can only have an account if you were in college. So right now they're giving access to just a handful of people out of the world. And that's going to make other people that don't have access want access. And they're going to go, if it's for sale, go buy the game or download it or whatever and play it. And they're going to get all those downloads and all that shit at first. And then it'll probably die out. But they're going to get their like at least initial boost just for what they're doing now.
Yeah, I certainly do believe that once it's out for everyone, it'll certainly get a boost, especially if it's free to play. But I mean, because people are willing to, especially if it's free to play, people the barrier for entry is pretty low. A lot of people have the Riot launcher already because of League. So if it's just like you click download on another icon, then fuck it. I think a lot of people will try it out. But will it somehow attract people who play League to play this thing? I don't think so. And I mean, does it really get the CSGO players to switch? I don't think so. Sure, they'll try it.
I think if the content creators do what they were paid to do and they say, this is a really good game, like no matter what's going on screen, they're like, this is a really good game. You guys should get this game. Well, then it's going to do well. Obviously, if the content creators are like, it was okay, whatever, then yeah, it's a bad move on that part. But I'm sure the content creators are being paid to say it's a good game. So
yeah, I mean,
I can say I watched two different streams while we were sitting here talking about it. I watched Summit and then I watched Leffen. Neither one of them guys actually seemed that into it. I'll just say that. Yeah,
it's with Summit. I have very limited exposure to Summit, but I have watched him stream Valorant. He does crazy hours with the game, like insane. So I can understand that he's exhausted, but then again, I've seen him play Sea of Thieves, and I've seen him play GTA 5 RP, and he enjoys those games way fucking more. He makes jokes, he laughs, he has a good time. When he plays Valorant, he's just like, oh fuck, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was looking like a minute ago. Identical. He was just sitting there playing. It's like, It doesn't look fun. No part of this looks like something I want to be a part of.
But I can totally understand like him, if he gets like $50,000 from Riot to play this game for a week, then he'll fucking sit there and play that for a week, and then he drops it completely. But who knows? Maybe those streamers actually do like the game. I don't fucking know. I mean, Dr. Disrespect is the only one who has criticized the game, but you can always chalk it up to Dr. Disrespect just playing a character. Who the fuck knows what his real opinions are? And
Yeah,
I mean,
but
he
I feel
bitches
like
and moans on every game.
I feel like if you're streaming the game and you're like, oh, this is shit game, but you played 16 hours per day, it's probably not so shit, and it's only gonna make the viewer go like, well, why the fuck do you play then if you don't like it?
Well,
I mean,
unless
Only
you're
in it
being
for the
paid.
money? Huh?
Yeah, it depends on your contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
mean,
like, no
I don't
one
necessarily
likes to
like going
watch
to work.
someone like only rant about the game. I feel like that's just
I would assume it's in their contract that they can't say anything negative about the game, but
I don't believe that. I
don't know.
believe that there's nothing in the contract what they can and can't say, because there years ago, this was when the Xbox 360 was coming out, I think, and they there was a huge controversy about a lot of YouTubers were reviewing one of the Chivalry games, I think, and they were explicitly told to say positive things about the game, even if they were lying, or they would not get the Xbox 360.
I'll say it differently. They're probably incentivized to say positive things.
they're getting paid. Of course, they're gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
say
not
whatever.
only that, but obviously, if you say negative shit, the next time around, they're not going to go to you and pay you again to review their next game. They're going to
Yes.
be like, "Oh no, that guy fucking was talking shit about us. Fuck him."
yes, that I do believe.
I doubt the contract says they have to say positive things. But I almost guarantee it says that they can't say negative things.
See,
So
I don't
that's-
believe.
that's-
I don't believe that. Because
That's how a lot of contracts are. I mean, a lot of those, they're just straight up not allowed to criticize it. I mean, I believe that wholeheartedly. That
that's
that
so
they
shitty
probably
though.
just are not
Why
allowed to
can't you?
criticize.
Why would you not be able to criticize something?
Because that
That's
doesn't
how-
sell.
That was in my contract in the military. Was if you ever get interviewed for any reason while you're in the military, you cannot say anything negative about the military.
See, I understand that if you're employed by somebody, then you represent the interests of your employer. That I
Well,
understand.
that's all a contract is.
Yeah, you're employed by 'em.
Essentially agree. I mean, whenever I'm employed by somebody, I sign a contract. The only difference is that doesn't have an end. The contract that they're signing to play this game and are getting paid for, I'm sure reads a lot like an employment document, because that's I doubt that it's a term that's used over there. But whenever someone is hired for a set amount of time, they're just called contractors because they work by the contract. And I'm sure that this is a very similar thing, that I bet that they are not allowed to say negative things. And that might be why so many of these streamers are sitting there silently. Like Summit didn't say, he was just like cussing at it. He wasn't really complaining or celebrating. The guy I was watching wasn't really complaining either. But they weren't really saying anything.
Maybe I'm just naive. Maybe I'm like literally just naive, because I'm in my head I think it as, here's $50,000, play our game, and then it's like wink wink, but don't fuck yourself, because in the future you might not get another contract. Maybe I'm just naive enough.
Yeah,
Because I mean, like I do realize that it's super easy to put something in a contract. Like you are going into this contract by signing this contract, and then you're obligated to play our game to get this monetary compensation for it. And here's our terms: play the game, don't say anything negative, yada yada yada, and then you sign if you sign.
Yeah.
But even if the contract wouldn't say like don't say bad things, I would still not say bad things. Just
yeah.
still.
I mean,
It's
think about
just
it like
rude.
this. I mean, think about it like this, Tom. Why would you pay someone $50,000 if they're just going to shit talk your game for an hour?
Oh yeah, I do understand that. Like, I understand that these
Obviously,
are
that's
professional streamers, and they do
Yeah.
this. Like, I understand that they, on some level, they also understand that they're not just playing games anymore. It's a business for them, and they're looking out for their best interest. So obviously, if they get a game, even without like a contract explicitly telling that don't shit on our game, they won't shit on the game, because if they do that, they are souring their own reputation at the same time.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I might be naive enough to think that I'm putting reviewers and streamers too close to each other, and I should separate them more. A reviewer is a little bit different than somebody who just plays games on Twitch. Um, I mean, I've gotten one key from a developer, and I certainly during that entire stream, I dared not shit talk the game.
What game was it?
Crossing Souls. I did shit
Was it
talk the
sh-
game
was-
after though.
Was it? I was gonna say, was it a shitty game?
No, definitely not a shitty game. Too much text though.
Yeah, I
mean,
remember the demo. It was pretty.
I got the full
Cool.
game. I played the full game on stream, but I never finished it. And then
Huh.
I because I bought the game and then I got a key, I gave that key away. But I still went into, because I did stream the game. I treated that as being playing by the developers' rules. But they had like nothing. When I got the key and the email, there was like nothing. It wasn't a contract or anything.
Yeah.
It was basically just, here you go, play the game, hope
Yeah.
you enjoy.
You got to think you're not getting paid by them. These
Oh yeah,
people are.
no, yeah, I understand
No.
that.
and that's a big difference between like reviewing and streaming a game, like being paid to review a game by the company. Those third party reviewers have, I mean, they don't care. If I trash talk a game and I work for PC Gamer, it doesn't matter. I'm going to review your games whether you want me to or not. But these people rely on their contracts with those bigger game companies. So I'm sure it is probably a little column A, a little column B, in that it's in their contract. And if it's not, I'd say you're probably right. The ones that aren't, it doesn't explicitly say not to. I'm sure they still avoid doing it because you don't want to, shoot yourself in the foot.
And I mean, there's also, I mean, ethically, like, if you're talking professional reviewers, I think you can't really tell a reviewer what to say and not to say. And I mean, there's been instances where reviewers have been blacklisted by certain companies, and that's always a huge shit show. And and there's been like journalists who have come out and said that there's certain developers and publishers that have tried to bribe them for a good review, and that's always a shit show.
I mean, even Unbox Therapy, which is probably arguably one of the top reviewers on YouTube. I've seen him. He reviewed one. I can't remember. It was like a headset or some shit. But the headset was so bad that he even said it in his video. He's like, I actually contacted this company after I was going to do my review and told them it was so bad that I was going to give them a negative review, and they still told me to do it anyway. And he's like, I gave them an option to say, don't do it. So like they'll, even reviewers know, don't do it. If it's too negative, at least.
Yeah, with like I don't know which channel you're talking about, but I'm assuming that guy gets stuff for free from companies to review. So
I believe so.
Yeah, he relies on getting stuff for free. I think it's a little bit different if you're a writer for PC Gamer, where you're employed by PC Gamer. You have that certain like shield, essentially. You don't get fucked. Like if you give a bad review to Dark Souls, you don't get like, your career is not fucked for it. But if you like,
who would give a bad review to Dark Souls?
Yeah, I was gonna say, but it should be. It won't be, but it should be.
Yeah, exactly, motherfuckers.
I like Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's why I said Dark Souls, because it triggers people. You're like, what the fuck you said, motherfucker? Oh, Dark Souls bad, huh?
I mean, I don't think it's the best game in the world, but I like it.
Definitely not. Because the Binding of Isaac Rebirth is. But yeah, like I mean, I understand. I understand that I might just be fucking stupid and talking about things I don't understand. And maybe those streamers, those big streamers, they get monetary compensation for playing a game, and they probably are under a contract, and it may or may not say like explicitly what they can and can't say. And if it explicitly says that you can't say negative things about our game, fuck it, I'll believe it. I think
I
it's
would
shitty.
put on the contract something like, "You must have fun while playing this," or something like that, and be like, you didn't have fun. Give our money back."
One smile every 30 seconds.
Yeah. But I gotta say, like, some of the streamers, like, they seem ultimately bored. Like, or are they just bad streamers? They don't talk. There's blank face.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is they do all just seem super bored.
Or maybe
And-
they're just like so into it that they don't even like to talk. They just go like, I gotta kill everybody. Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show you the best gameplay ever.
See,
Because I know-
we know the answer if there comes a day when nobody of these people are playing Valorant anymore.
Yeah.
Then we know exactly what has transpired here.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the top streamers are a different breed from all of us. Like, I mean, us four. I mean, I would generally say that if we stream whatever we want to stream, because I mean, it's our hobby. And those top streamers, they stream where the money is. And it like they're not streaming a game anymore. It's a career for them. So they will stream fucking whatever if somebody gives them money. Even Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Yeah, Trevor's gonna take a leave of absence, and we can jump on to the next thing, I guess. Or does anybody else want to shit on Valorant anymore, even though we have 0 seconds played the game?
If it's free, I'll try it. That's all.
I won't
mean-
try it. It's too much like CS, and I don't like CS.
I like CS. I won't try it. It requires me to download one other launcher, and I'm don't care.
Do they actually have a Riot launcher now?
Yeah, the one you play League with.
Well, I just always think of that as the League launcher. I didn't know if it had like other options added onto it.
Oh, I don't know. I assume.
Can you play other games on it?
I don't know.
I mean,
That's what
this is the second game Riot has ever made.
Yeah.
And they have one game and
Really?
it's available on one place. Riot might have made something before League. I don't fucking know, but they're known
Well,
for
Riot
one thing.
doesn't. League doesn't really have like a launcher. It's just like the updater thing, and so there's like, I would almost bet that it's probably similar. That it's basically like a DRM free game, or not.
According to
DRM-free,
Riot
no.
Games, they have 5 games: League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, League of Legends, Wild Rift, Legends of Runeterra, and Valorant.
I heard 2 games there. League of Legends and Teamfight Tactics. I don't know how you play Teamfight Tactics. Do you play that through the League launcher?
Yeah, it's like a special game mode on League.
Yeah, so I mean, I just assume that they're gonna transform the League launcher into a Riot launcher.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know though. I've seen the like the because they the streamers, when they add friends, they need like a Riot ID for their accounts. So I assume that's their Riot account. They might have a different launcher though. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
It's ultimately it's
time-
kind of whatever.
Last time I played League, it was just the screen and you clicked play. There wasn't really any options or anything, so I have no clue.
Yeah, I played League maybe 7 years ago, and that's pretty much what I remember too. All right. That was Valorant. Now we can move on to real games. There we go. I played... Or let me start over. I bought, I downloaded, I played, and I finished Resident Evil 3 Remake all in the span of 8 hours.
Seems really short.
How much did that cost?
That's what she said.
60 buckaroos.
Mm.
Now, before we dive into like what the game actually is, I do acknowledge that the $60 price tag is a lot for a lot of people, and it will turn people away. That is very, very, very understandable. I will not argue for or against if $60 is the right price, because I do recognize that $60 has a different value for different people. That said, I do think that it's worth maybe $30.
Asking for $10 an hour to play is a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah, I finished the game itself in a little over 6 hours. In-game timer was somewhere around 4. Because I like, died a couple of times, but
yeah, $10 an hour is a little steep, I think.
Yeah, if it was a game that was like, you know, had like, I mean, what's the replayability of it? Like twice?
So, I'm not one to replay games. I do want to mention though that with that $60 price tag, you also get Project Resistance, which is the multiplayer component that I have not tried because I do not care. It exists there, and you can watch Sequisha play that because he actually plays that a lot. The Resistance mode is, it's I think 5 survivors against a mastermind, and the mastermind can then plant zombies and control zombies to try to stop the survivors. And then you, as a survivor, you try to get from floor to floor until you like escape. I don't care about that. I cared about the single player component, which is what I played. As for replay value, when you complete the game, you get a set of in-game currency. It's a score, and with those points, you can buy items for your subsequent playthroughs. They're like coins for like infinite ammo, infinite health, whatever, yada yada, weapons and whatever. So yeah, there's replay value, but it's the same campaign from start to finish without any deviation. So I mean, for me, there is no replay value.
I looked it up because I was curious how long the original one was, and according to How Long to Beat, the average time to beat it is like 6.5 hours. So I don't know what to do with that information, but it's exactly the same as it was 20 years ago, I guess.
I feel like it was longer than that, but again, that was a long time ago.
It says just the main story is 6.5 hours, but if you took your time, it could take up to like 10. But if like the average was 6.5, so.
I mean, it is a short game, like definitely. And I never played the original, but I do know that there's certain sections in the original where you have to make a choice. Those choices do not exist in the remake at all. And the famous, I'm not gonna call it iconic because I don't know if it's iconic or not, but the famous clock tower puzzle in the original does not exist in the remake. There's also some other sections that have been changed. I'm not fully aware which, because again, I've not played the original. And
yeah,
the final big remark that I did know going into the game, but I did not realize how much it was like this. The game is 100% not horror. It is 100% an action game. There is zero horror in Resident Evil 3 Remake, as contrasted to RE2 Remake, which I do feel is a horror game.
Did Trevor, did you play the original RE3?
Yeah, like 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
Would you say it was the original was fairly actiony, or do you remember?
I don't remember. I it's honest. I can't even really comment. It's been so long since I played it.
I just know I remember hearing people say that the actiony Resident Evils kind of picked up with 4, so I wasn't sure if the original, if 3 was always that was actiony as well.
I think, and I could be completely wrong, I do think that the original 3 was had more action than Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
But that's just me kind of going off of very old memory, so
yeah,
can't really say too much. I will say that I did see, like what Tom was saying with content missing, is again, it's been so long since I've seen since I played the original, and I have not played the new one, but I read comments that people were saying like content was missing, and I remember seeing a Reddit post where this guy, he basically was like, this is the stuff that's missing from the original to the remake, and it was like a bullet point list of like 30 items of just like scenes and content and areas and enemies and just everything of all this shit that they did not put into it. And I don't, from what Reddit posters were saying, so go take that with a grain of salt. They were saying it's like they took all this shit out of the game, but they really didn't put much into the game, like content wise.
Yeah, I don't know what of the content is new to the remake, and I don't know what is missing other than the clock tower puzzle. Because it's like so notable.
I heard that there were like actual like enemies that were missing and cutscenes and then areas like you said, like the clock tower and things like that. So but it's all a hearsay, so for me at least.
But is the game good? I would say yes. It runs very well. It plays very well. And it is a good action game. And it gets fairly intense at certain situations. And the hospital section of the game is somewhat suspenseful. But it never really reaches that horror level that I was looking forward to.
Yeah, if there's one positive thing that I can think of the game, is that it looks phenomenal. It's like a movie. It's like a movie.
A lot of people have said that it feels like you're watching a movie. Because it is very, very cinematic. It has big set pieces. For better or worse, depending on where you kind of fall on. Nemesis in the original was more random, and a lot of people have said that he could appear anywhere. Now, I don't know if that's possible if he could appear anywhere. I do feel that it needs to be kind of scripted, but he is definitely 100% super scripted in the remake. He appears at the same locations every single playthrough. There's no deviation, and you know exactly where he is.
That kind of sucks, because I'm sure a huge part of the scariness from the original was like constantly worrying where Nemesis was going to pop up. Like he's the only thing I know about Resident Evil 3. It sucks that they kind of ruined him like that.
And because of like a thing that makes me believe in that randomness in the original is because, like you said, and what I also have heard people say, that the action-y Resident Evils started with 4. Like everybody considers Nemesis, the original, to be a horror game or survival horror, whatever. They do recognize that it's more action-y, but it's still classified as a survival horror game. Where I would say the remake of RE3 is definitely nowhere near any form of horror or survival horror. I mean, even like the ammo and health, that was somewhat limited in RE2 remake is you have no problems. You will have ammo coming out of your fucking ass, and you will never run out.
So but it takes like 1 billion shots to the head before the zombie goes down, and they still come up like, huh? What was that? And then you can shoot them in the head another 4 times, and they go down for a while. Like, oh, what was that?
Yeah, I feel like I guess like it's either I realized or you're just meant to do it by default, is not to kill the zombies. Maybe you shoot a couple of times so they fall off, and then you just fucking go. I held the shift button down throughout the entire game. Like because there was no suspense anywhere. Like in RE2 at least I was scared because I'm a little bitch. And I was treading the hallways with caution. But here it's like it's shift and then you fucking sprint wherever you need to go. You even get a cool dodge mechanic that I never really truly mastered, but having seen speedruns, it is like it breaks the fucking game. You can, when a zombie lunges at you, if you time it just right, you can get you can somersault like out of the way of the zombie, and time even stops. It goes into bullet time if you draw your weapon and aim. But it completely breaks the game, and it completely breaks like because you can dodge any enemy in the game. You just roll around, do a little dodge roll.
Dark Souls, just like Dark Souls.
Yeah, just like Dark Souls.
Dark Souls of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 3, the remake.
That's super disappointing to hear, because I feel like they were like back on a good stride because like 7 was hugely popular, and I know people really loved the 1 and 2 remakes. So to hear that they messed up on 3, that sucks.
So I do want to like hammer on that I don't think this is a bad game. I do think that you have to go with the right expectations into the game. If you go into this and expect to play a horror game, you'll be disappointed. If you go into this thinking that you're going to play a very short cinematic shooter, essentially, an action game with monsters, then you might be fine. It's very pretty to look at, the set pieces are cool, boss fights are entertaining enough, and I gotta say, the final boss of the game is, you go like full fucking anime on that one. And I enjoyed the shit out of that.
Was there any puzzles or anything?
No, I'd say that there's not a single puzzle in the game worth even mentioning.
Wow.
Not even the safe thing? The one that you need to go and look at the board to see the numbers and...
I mean, it's happenstance. It's not a puzzle. You either see the board or you don't see the board. and even with the subway puzzle, I mean, you look at the board, and then you either you know or you don't know, or you find the little. I originally I thought a thing that I found early in the game that's what they reduced the clock tower puzzle to. I've since been corrected by myself by seeing a video of the original. It's a little like a box thing with a fucking like a diagram, and it looks like a puzzle when you see it because it stands out. It's not a puzzle. You find things that you put into it. So you either find those things or you don't find those things. I'd say that there's not a single puzzle in the game.
It's kind of disappointing.
Oh, yeah, me, yeah.
Saying that's probably 50% of any Resident Evil game.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I've not played them, but I feel like I know that they are like super puzzly.
I feel this is something that they made in like just something to fill in the gap between RE2 remake and the next RE8 or whatever. Something to just have it there.
And I do wanna I'm gonna hammer on this. I don't think this is a bad game. It is masterfully done. It is very good at what it does. But I do understand that it suffers for basically its name. But it's not. I just want to. I'm gonna repeat and repeat. It's not a bad game. But I mean, everybody can like make their own decision if 60 buckaroos is too much for it, for a game that you essentially will breeze through in one sitting, and takes between 5 and 6 hours.
That's like honestly, that's the biggest killer for me. Is it takes 6 hours to beat it, 8 hours, like for $60 at least. Like I think I bought Resident Evil 2 on sale, so it was probably like between 20 and $30, and you know it was like probably 8 to 10 hour game for me, and that's fine because it's so a lot cheaper. But $60 for a game that you can beat in one sitting, or minimum 2 sittings. Like that's just.
But you do get the multiplayer component though.
And no one gives a shit about that.
But why? Why in the first place there has to be a multiplayer game in there? Like why?
I believe
because it's
I believe
a 6 hour game.
Yeah, that too. I believe they made this multiplayer component completely separate from RE3 in the first place. I don't think that it was intended in the beginning to like have both of these things released at the same time.
What is the multiplayer about anyway?
It's about four or five survivors trying to escape a facility, and one mastermind who deploys zombies and other hazards on their way to try to stop them.
Actually, sounds kind of fun.
I mean, I watched Sequisha play it on Twitch. It looks enjoyable, but again, it's like I mean, maybe I'm just old. I don't care about random multiplayer games anymore.
Yeah, you're just old.
Yeah. I just want to play Siege. And when I get tired of that, I switch on to something else competitive. But yeah. I think RE3 is good though.
Would you? I don't think you're a fan of this, but if you were to tell the viewers, would you give Resident Evil 3 a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I'd give it a thumbs up. But it completely, like, it comes with huge amounts of caveats.
Yeah,
you have to
of
have
course, but
like, yeah, it's the price. Do you accept it or not? Go with the right mentality into it, and like understand that it bears the Resident Evil name, but nothing. I mean, it has the characters and shit from Resident Evil, but it's not a horror game. And I personally I would like to play a horror game. I mean, if that's the negative that I give for the game, it's that it's not horror. And even like the RE8 leaks and rumors have been ramping up now as RE3 Remake came out. I believe that's deliberate, because I like those types of conspiracy theories. I believe they are deliberately done by Capcom themselves. And there's been some leaks about like the setting and kind of like it's gonna be setting in like Eastern Europe, and you're gonna play Ethan Winters from RE7, and it's gonna have werewolves and other types of zombies, maybe. Werewolves, yeah, for the first time. And I mean, I haven't really seen people criticize that, and personally I feel like if it's gonna be the 8th installment in the main series, they've done like zombies so many times, like fuck it, go with werewolves.
I think ever since Resident Evil 4, they've strayed from zombies. They got the.
I mean, yeah.
It wasn't even zombies. It was like I don't know,
Parasites, yeah.
shit that comes out and all that
Then,
shit.
then it was the viral infection in 5, and I guess they went zombies in 6. And they
also have like the plant monsters and all that shit. So
oh yeah, but I mean they've always had employed like these weird types of monsters, like the huge snake in RE1 and the huge spiders and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, just think of the huge spiders. All they gotta do is be like, oh, whatever got those spiders also got some wolves over here.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited. Like, so the main rumor that I'm most interested in that is they're gonna release RE8, or at least planning, in Q1 next year. And if that's true, then fuck it, bring it on. But I ask of one thing and one thing only. Please, Capcom, make it horror. And only horror. I don't mind if the game has guns. Make the game scary. I want to be a scared little bitch. I don't want to play an action game.
I did see, and obviously this is just a rumor leak kind of thing, but they did say it was going to be like first person, like Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. I did hear that originally what is now like RE8 was supposed to be another side project to the Revelations series. But because the reception for RE7 was so good, they decided to continue that storyline instead.
I hope they implement the VR element somehow, like, or make it a VR game too.
Oh, like, for the love of God, don't make it a VR game.
Why not?
Yeah, make
because
it
then it's just a VR game.
Yeah, but
put have it being able like make it an option to play it VR. Yes.
Yeah.
But don't make it a VR game. Make it a controller and keyboard mouse kind of game.
Or just make it a VR game. Did you not see the sales of VR already? Everyone has one now.
See, the RE7 you can play it on VR, but only on PSVR.
Yeah, not on PC.
Yeah, which sucks ass. So if they do implement VR into RE8, then for the love of God, put it on fucking everything and not just PSVR. But yeah, I do like. Would I recommend RE3 Remake? Like I said, it gets a thumbs up, but it comes with huge caveats. I do think it's, like I said, masterfully crafted game by Capcom and looks fucking gorgeous and plays good. I had no technical issues. The speedrun's pretty entertaining. Been watching that a lot. Yeah. I do hope that we get an official announcement for RE8 this year, especially if it's gonna come Q1 next year out. They probably should announce it this year. And I do hope it's horror, straight up horror, motherfuckers. Let's go, Capcom. Don't pussy out now. Whew.
Well.
Have you watched any footage of RE3 Remake, Joe?
No, I haven't. I haven't watched any of it. I might take a peek at the speedruns though, if they are pretty good.
Yeah, it's a quickie one. The leaderboards are not open yet. Per the speedrun.com rules, you cannot submit runs for the first week when the game comes out. The week is up really soon though. I think Bach, I can't say his full name, so I just call him Bach like everyone else. I think he has the fastest run right now. It's 1 hour and 7 minutes. That's a pretty quickie one.
Yeah, that's a pretty quick run.
It's totally doable under an hour. It's like legitimately not going to be a single problem. Because even in Bach's fastest run, he died a couple of times. So once they get like deathless runs, it's gonna be well under an hour.
That'll be nice.
So who's ready for Final Fantasy VII Remake?
This guy.
This guy. Did you see those people who got banned?
No. What?
So, like, FF7 got released in a bunch of places. Like, they broke the street release date. And a lot of people, like, especially in Australia and some countries in Europe. So a lot of people went out and bought the game. And people are still getting their, like, pre-orders in, like, shipped to them. The official release is on Friday, on the 10th. So obviously, people go out, they buy the game, and they stream it. And then in comes the fucking ban hammer. Boom, on everyone. Like a DMCA galore on everyone who played the game early on Twitch. Sony issued a statement, I think, or Square. I think it was like Square who issued the statement that, like, please don't upload content before the 10th of April. I do, however, say that they switched the wording. If you go to Excessive Profanity's Twitter, it's still his pinned tweet. He has, like, screen caps of the before and after. I hate the dude. I think he's an absolute douchebag. But I mean, it's true what he says. They did change the wording and specifically added, after they banned everyone, that don't stream the game.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Even people here in Finland have gotten their copies early. In the UK they got early. In France they got early. Australia got it early. They broke the street date for a lot of places. Basically, it is with, like, Square's blessing, essentially. And they say the same thing as what Naughty Dog said, that they can't ensure, like, a smooth production for the physical copies. So they are trying to gradually put them out so that people can play them. But yeah, I think I didn't really want to go super deep into this entire, because it was a huge issue for a couple of days. I did not research it enough, and it's one of those issues that I think all sides kind of fucked up. I think Square fucked up, and I think those streamers fucked up, even though they don't acknowledge that they fucked up. But I mean, you don't have to be a goddamn rocket scientist to understand that if the release date is April 10th and it's not April 10th, there's a risk that you might get fucked if you stream the game. I don't care if you got the game early or not.
For sure.
But yeah. Definitely gonna stream Final Fantasy VII Remake on my channel, twitch.tv/Tumalo, on release. I have still not gotten the game. I've almost fucking pre-ordered it. Almost, because Sony has said that they're gonna throttle everyone on the PS because of the coronavirus. And I don't really feel like getting throttled. So I thought that I would preload it. But then I'm like, if I do that, I'll get shit on me. So I can't. I'll eat this one. Well, if I get throttled, I get throttled. Fuck
I
it.
mean, we're making all kinds of exceptions for the coronavirus. You know, it's just one more.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to download it before, I mean, we won't say anything for at least a week.
Oh, how generous.
We'll only mention it on every single podcast from that day on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That one time you bought the game,
Yeah.
pre-ordered that game.
There we have it. Like, what about your morals, Tum Tum? They're for sale. That's what. But yeah, I didn't buy it yet. I'll buy it on the 10th. Like,
Yeah, while we were sitting here, I went ahead and checked my order. I think I'm gonna get shafted again. Looks like it's not gonna get here till Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Gee.
Yeah, it happens, I guess. Might as well be me.
Fuck. But
Oh, well.
at least if you get it Tuesday, then you get to play it before the next podcast. So I assume we're gonna talk a bunch about Final Fantasy VII Remake on the next podcast in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I plan on dumping a lot of time into it for sure. So hopefully,
Yeah,
if by some miracle, go ahead.
I do fully assume that I will be able to complete the game before the next podcast. I mean, total runtime for the game varies, obviously, but I've heard that it's gonna be like averaging in the 35 to 40 hours.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, that's actually what I thought to myself. That's not like, because I was a little bit afraid if it's gonna be one of those fucking dump 80 hours and you've done like half of the shit, and because
Yeah.
Oh man.
that's the single reason I will not play Persona 5.
Yeah, those games are way too long. I tried Persona 4. It was, and it sounds like an exaggeration, but it's not. 2 hours before I actually got to play the game.
You see, that's something I really fucking hate with certain video games. Is like, and like I've hammered on Kingdom Hearts 2 a lot, but the amount of cutscenes Kingdom Hearts 2 has is obscene.
Yeah, I will agree.
And especially how they do it, where you get to play the game for like 30 seconds, you kill a couple enemies, and then it's another cutscene. And you get to play a game life for 30 seconds and another fucking cutscene. I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, then I definitely wouldn't play the Persona games. Like I'm not. It was. I think I got to walk around and do a little bit of like talk to people during those 2 hours. But before I actually like got into the meat of the game, where you go into the cyber world or whatever and fight monsters, it was a solid 2.5 hours before I actually got to do that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, I know. I didn't play it. I I played it all the way up to that point, and I was like, "All right, this is awesome. We're in the game now. I'm gonna keep going." I did like 2 fights, and then we were back at the school doing dialogue, and I'm like, "No, thank you." I put her down.
Yeah. No, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I think I've said all I have to say tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Oh wait, Stadia is free to play if you guys want to try that.
Oh shit! Yeah, Stadia Pro free for 2 months due to the coronavirus, but you still have to pay for your games.
And then if you want to keep playing those games after that 2 months, you'll have to start paying them money again, or you lose those games that you bought.
So whatever your thoughts are, I'd still say get Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah. Even though it's free, still don't use it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So much I fucking hate the Stadia. It's so stupid. Whew. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, I came not prepared for this episode, and we did great. North did way more research for this one than I did. He was like linking me shit all day, and I'm like, yeah, I'll put it on, whatever, man.
I did like a lot of research.
No, yeah. I mean, definitely did it for last episode, that's for sure. And I'm glad actually a huge chunk of the last episode is Half-Life Alyx, because I do think that it's a unique
I meant for this
opportunity.
episode. I did a lot of research for this episode.
Yeah, I mean, but this is your default, right? And to come in and just sit down and be like, yo, dude, what's up?
Yeah.
But honestly, I do think that because we're such a small group, and because we're not famous, we're in a unique kind of opportunity to have one person who actually plays a lot of VR games. And I do relish the fact that we can have Trevor talk about VR games, especially when there's something big like Alyx that came out.
Also, what happened to Alyx? It has 188 viewers currently on Twitch.
Everybody finished it.
188?
Everyone finished it and they moved on.
I haven't even finished it, and I'm like, I want to play that.
Do you still think it's gonna win VR Game of the Year?
Yeah.
Probably.
Unless something else comes out and blows it out of the water, then yeah. Again, I think Walking Dead should get Game of the Year so far.
because I know I'm like arrogant about the thing and think that Alex will win it by default because it's Half-Life.
Yeah, I mean I think that's the one reason it's gonna win.
Yeah,
but it's like I think North has a good point, like beyond what about like the numbers. Nobody's talking about Alex. It completely like fell off the earth.
Yeah, it's like Artifact. It just was there for a moment, and then it just like.
It feels like that's like a lot of games at this point. They are super hyped. They come out, everyone plays them, everyone talks about one game for like a solid 2 weeks, and then it just poof.
Disappointment.
And then when December rolls out, it's like, oh, this game came out and it's gonna win this in this category. Woo! And everyone claps and everyone's happy. I think it's difficult in these times to find a game that is endearing enough that you keep playing it like even 2 months after release. Yeah. It's the same with like Eternal, or same with RE3 Remake. I probably won't mention either of these games until December, and I definitely won't play either of them.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about Animal Crossing again.
Fuck.
No, it's fine. We don't
How's your village doing?
There's no change. It's still adorable.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Turnip prices is the new hello. Huh. Fucking Animal Crossing.
I am in at least 2. So the turnips she's talking about is basically the stock market. You buy turnips on Sunday, and then every day the price changes for you to sell them back. I am in 2 Discords dedicated to turnip prices, just so I can get the most money out of my turnips. Also, it's not the stock market; it's the stalk market.
God,
I caught that when you said it.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
If you like to work the market, hey, Animal Crossing has got something for you.
Who knew that a game like Animal Crossing would be so educational?
The stock market's actually pretty involved. I won't get into it.
We're gonna be here for another 2 hours.
Fucking Animal Crossing. Well, yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. The recording is 2 hours and 2 minutes. That's pretty on the dot. The stream is 2 hours and 12, but that's because I played 2 songs. I do tend to go with the recording timer instead of the stream timer. Get the actual eps to be 2 hours. Thanks for watching, everyone. I thought this was a success of an episode. I do need to come into these more with the mindset that North probably links me shit like a few hours before we go live, and maybe have like one game to talk about. But yeah, it was great.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, remember to subscribe and leave a comment and like and tell your grandma about this podcast.
Yeah. We have channels, and we play games sometimes. But yeah,
it's true.
Yeah. Trevor's on Mixer.
I am on Mixer. I'm on Mixer now.
Yeah.
The Mixer level.
Yeah. Trevor switched camps a while back. Yeah.
I have one dedicated follower. He watches every stream.
That's amazing, awesome. Man.
I mean, I have people jump in and out, but I have one guy. He's in there every time.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about too.
Yeah. And I'm not making fun of him. I actually appreciate him. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just want to say that.
Yeah, definitely next episode in 2 weeks. We're gonna talk about Final Fantasy. It's gonna be it, basically. And yeah, this episode will be up on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. And if you got this far, probably not. I mean, we've been rambling for like 15 minutes at this point. Well, yeah. Everyone wave.
Wave and smile, boys. Wave and smile.
Bye.